Good evening. Today we have the Axolittles team with us. We're going to go over a little about the Axolittles project, what's happened in the past, what's going on moving forward. So today we have, is it Tisar? Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yeah, you can. That's all right. Thank you.
Yeah. So we got Tisar, Crip, and Nate here. Um, how is everyone doing today? I hope it's been pretty good for you guys because there's a little treasure hunt that you guys put together yesterday through NFT Worlds. So we'll get into that. But to start, I guess let's get a little background of each of you and how Axolittles came to be.
Yeah, sure. I guess I can start us off. So I'm Nate. I'm the community takeover CEO of Axolittles. So that's one big background piece to go over is that none of us were on the original founding team. Nobody from the original founding team is uh, on our actual team anymore. And so that was something that happened in January with the project releasing back in 2021. But yeah, like I said, I'm the CEO. I recently left Chainlink as a PM on Friday, and so that will allow me to go full time on this project. And so yeah, very excited for the roadmap we have planned. Crip, do you want to go next?
Yeah, I was formerly the community manager. Nick kind of brought me on early on, right after Mint. Like you said, not on the founding team, but kind of from the early days to working with the founding team, and so got to see kind of how that displayed worked out and the progression that kind of happened, but in the end, kind of never happened. And so, what kind of led us to the new team takeover and kind of with Nate at charge now, and now just kind of heading over business development, any kind of the partnerships, and working out with anything that we have going on, like NFT Worlds or any of the other projects.
Cool. Yeah, Tisar, how did you start out?
Yeah. Well, I started out as a moderator, and I started doing some community art in the Discord. Um, and I've been here from like 3 hours post mint, so it's been a good while now. And I've been brought on as a COO for the Axolittles. And Nate asked what I was interested in doing, and that kind of just clicked. There was also a possibility to do the art aspect, but I think I can bring more to the Axolittles with the CEO title.
Yeah. So let's get into a little of that background where there's this takeover, like you mentioned, none of you were part of the original team. So how did you basically decide this is a project worth keep going? And I sounds like Nate, you were part of that initial push towards creating this. I don't know if you want to call it like the second coming of the project, but yeah, how did that sort of come about?
Yeah, so if we go back to the beginning, I mean, I was one of the people minting it at the beginning. And I initially got excited about this project because I was looking for a new, like, alternate cute project. I had just come out of Pudgy Penguins, selling, thankfully, kind of the top and at 3 to 4 ETH and feeling good about that. But really looking for more in a team, one that would be more responsive to feedback and things like that. And then that's how I got into this one, which was the founding team responded to just a few messages of feedback. I mean, it was really, I guess, just a little bit of validation that I was looking for, like the bare minimum, because what it proved to show over time was that I think the founding team really took on a little too much and didn't have the availability or the background to really run a project. So it went through a few months. I became kind of an advisor to the project by just pushing a lot of feedback towards them and becoming like the known whale of the project of just buying a lot. And so yeah, that's how we got Crip on the team, and then my other friend Zyder, who was on the team briefly as the head of marketing. But yeah, so we went through, and the team promised a few different things, like the Axe Aquarium, which is kind of a game experience similar to Animal Crossing, in that you'll have this room where you can see your axolotls walking around and then decorated with objects and different things, as well as a few other different like collaborations and experiences that the original team talked about. And so I was kind of in the discussions for those different pieces of work happening. And it was in December when the original team said, "Hey, I think we need to slow down. Like, we're not seeing the traction we're looking for." And I think Crip described it as like, well, that would just be a slow rug. Like, that, you can't slow down in this space. And it was like totally true. I mean, like, there really wasn't enough progress to justify saying slowing down. So that's when I said, like, here, let me take over the project. And like, it'll clean your hands. We don't have to take any of the original sale money from you guys, but just let us like take over almost all the ownership rights. And so thankfully it was like a smooth negotiation. And so that happened like in January 5th, I think was the day where we actually officially transitioned over. And then immediately what I did was just scale up the team. Tons of great moderators who became team members, tons of other great people who became team members, because that was one of the big issues, is like, if you're going to build this massive project with this massive roadmap, you need a massive team. And we were fortunate enough that like everybody on the team was like just already sold on the project and really excited. And so they just got, energized again from this. A lot of them had already worked pro bono, and so they're okay working pro bono for the time being while we really scale up. Because again, like I said, I mean, the difference here is really most NFT projects have a ton of money. They have like more money than they know what to do with. And we're in this flip case where like we took over a project, didn't get any of the original money. And so we're just really starting from scratch on royalties. We have a few things in the works that are planned for maybe raising funds or like doing different things besides that. But right now we just have a really strong and passionate team. And I think that helps and shows a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And it's tough with projects like that have like a slow downward slope in that sense of the team, and some of them might lose motivation, or like you said, there's this ambitious roadmap, but then they think maybe their holders aren't really interested in that. So Crip, as someone who was a holder at the time, like, did you find that this reignited like your excitement for the project?
Yeah, I would say because just having like a predisposed like kind of nihilistic mindset. I was saying like I was kind of like doomer vibes, or if you would say like just kind of overall like I wouldn't say negative, but just like really wanting to see like flip 180. You know what I mean? Before like
Yeah.
it would have took more than just like, an announcement to be like, oh yeah, now everything's fine. You know what I mean? So like it kind of was like that actual fresh jolt of life, and it just kind of felt like the Energizer Bunny, like kind of like hitting the drum again, like all of a sudden, like from all of a sudden, like being revived out of nowhere.
Yeah. And then Tisar, when you mentioned that you're COO, did you find yourself when you took over that role that there were just a lot of, or I don't know if maybe spread out pieces, or you had to like link a lot of stuff together? Was it very scattered, or did what you get have some sort of organization to it?
The thing is that with the old team, the old devs, they didn't share really that much with the mods, so we had to start from scratch, and building up the system from there.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's definitely tough
yeah,
in that sense, because when did it launch initially? Was that in like August of last year?
that was September last year. Yeah,
Mhm.
and I've been and I honestly I saw a friend with with the one profile picture, and I'm just like, oh my god, where did you get that one? I need one.
Yeah,
And I just kind of hooked after that.
That sort of like cute meta that we see a lot of these other
Yes.
projects. But what's nice with the Axolittles, you're seeing it a little more recently with projects, adding a little like animation to the actual profile picture. Obviously, like in this current screen, they're all snapped, but yeah, if you go on like OpenSea or whatnot, they shake a little, and it's kind of cool because the sides are very like flowy, and it, in a sense, like you can look at it and it's calming. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a nice subtle animation.
Yeah, and the animations always get me a little bit on some of these, because it's a little added piece to it, especially like the traits. So yeah, so now you guys have been basically taken over for almost like 6 weeks or so now. There is, this Medium article that talked about welcome to a new era. So Nate, when you guys came out with that article, like what was sort of the feedback from people? Were they very excited? And I guess we could touch on like what is planned starting to go forward from January.
Yeah, totally. So, I mean, I think the community took it pretty positively. So the main focus being, hey, like we've taken over the project from the founders. Here's the new immediate team and kind of the immediate roles of people. It was kind of funny because a lot of people mentioned that they thought I was actually a team member, which I really wasn't. Even the advisor role was like kind of unofficial. And they may even have thought Crip was like part of the original founding team. And so but overall, yeah, they took it really positively because a lot of people had seen, kind of all the roadmap and everything, and been excited about it, but seen kind of the lack of progress. And that's one of the things we emphasize was like, hey, we're going to hit all of the original roadmap items. We're still going to fulfill those, and then we're going to go and do more. And so they definitely resonated with that.
Yeah. So then basically you guys take over January 5th. You have this big announcement. You say who's going to be the new mods, who's going to be part of the sort of like upper end team involved. So Crip, let's walk a little about what that next steps is about. So the updating the roadmap. So what previously was on the roadmap that you guys thought, let's take this off and instead let's start doing it this way?
I know well, instead of kind of like let's change and do this instead, we're continuing to finish out because it was, not, I wouldn't say complete, but fairly almost completed, kind of with like some loose ends. So we decided to kind of tie those up and tidy those kind of things. And then now we're kind of in the whole process of really developing and building out a more structured roadmap. Since I feel like you see like kind of prior to mint, or like when a project's coming out, it's kind of like you know first base, second base, third base or something, and then it's like that's it. You know what I mean? It's not really, not to say, oh, this is it, that's all that's ever going to happen, but it's not really thought out and kind of delved into like a white paper with a token, or something like that, where it's like a huge long structured thing. So I think right now, just kind of really figuring first of all, since it's a new team, it's kind of all our vision, but then also keeping the community in mind and what they want and kind of see fitting, but to be able to kind of like build that, and then how we want to best display that, and then kind of prove that this roadmap is going to be more sustainable than the last one, given the new team.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think the only one piece I can think of is the holiday giveaway that we kind of changed. And that's really because like it was in a very messy state where basically in the holiday giveaway, the plan was to take all of our collab partners and like give away NFTs from each of those projects. And so like that just like never really panned out. Like nobody ever got their NFTs. And so we started reaching out to these partners, and they were kind of confused on what the state of it was, like whether like they were actually supposed to give NFTs and all this stuff. And we were like, okay, like people are continuously asking like when giveaway and all this, and we just can't find a way. So like we're going to tell these partners like, hey, we'll do a giveaway with your stuff in the future. We'll find a future opportunity for that. We're just going to knock this out by like giving away a bunch of Axolittles. It's just the most straightforward way to like close this off. Other than that, though, yeah, I mean, like the treasure hunt you mentioned just happening, that was an original roadmap item. And then we've got the Axe Aquarium with stage one really close. We even redesigned the staking contract for the bubbles to improve gas efficiency, because that was a huge problem with, especially like for people like me who had just a ton of axolotl staked. It was, claiming per axolotl is very expensive. On Ethereum. So
cool. Yeah, let's go over the treasure hunt a little bit. So you guys teamed up with NFT Worlds. How did that kind of start up? Because I know they've been sort of the hot project of the past few weeks specifically, but in general, were they pretty welcoming on teaming up with you guys? And then what, I guess for listeners that don't know, what was the treasure hunt and how did that go down?
Yeah, so originally the partnership kind of set out that they were going to do some Axolotl Minecraft skins, and this was long ago with the old team. I'm not sure if it was October or
it's like
November-ish.
mid-November it was announced,
Yeah,
originally our partnership with NFT Worlds.
and I'm not sure what their current price of was, but their hype was definitely lessened. And but it just mainly came for our community members, and we already had implemented one of our who's now on the team, Toast. He had previously had an NFT world, but he was like, hey, we should just do a Minecraft server, um, you know, for the Axolotls. And so we just kind of had that through the Discord, and it was just a normal standard server. And then kind of after he acquired that, it was implemented into um, that world. And so the treasure hunt it just took place there. It wasn't really like necessarily them sponsoring the world tokens. It's not like a play to earn world as of yet. I know they're working on some redacted things that even I don't know, but they just told us to kind of stay tuned, and it'll be exciting for other communities. And so that was all done by our community through Toast, and then one of our mods, Demi, he kind of set up the I wouldn't say obstacle course, but kind of a hidden clue course that you kind of went through, and then at the end, whoever found the treasure ended up getting 1,000 world tokens and an axolotl.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So that all happened in one day too, right? How long was the actual hunt?
Yeah. So whenever he went through it, he had in mind it would. I mean, because he was assuming everyone's going to be speeding through it, trying to get to the end for the treasure. He was thinking 40 to 60 minutes, kind of like a speed run. But it ended up taking about 2 hours. I don't know if it was just people getting geographically challenged and then some confusion. Whenever we were streaming it, I think people were following who was streaming, thinking that they were going to go straight to the treasure too.
Yeah.
So it was kind of fun to watch.
Yeah, it as you said, it ended up taking almost 2.5 hours. That was because of a lot of you need to find the right coordinates and everything, and sometimes people get lost. Easy as that.
Yeah.
And it was super fun. I joined in. Big props to Dimi for making that whole thing. That it was a ton of fun.
Yeah, it sounds cool. And I know that like this seems like the way a lot of projects are moving. Not always through like NFT Worlds, which it's great that you guys connected with them, a few months ago before they were what they are now. I'm sure it's probably harder to get connected to them today than it was probably back then. But it does seem like this sort of game within your own project in a world that is specific to your project is becoming pretty common in a lot of these projects now. And then I saw, Tasari, you've been doing an art stream. Tell us a little about the art stream.
Okay, so every Monday, I do an art stream. So I had one earlier today, actually, where we gather up a bunch of people. Anyone can join if they want to. And when I start a new piece, I ask people in the community, that this is at least how we have done it so far. I ask people in their community if they want their AXO or other NFT in the picture. Of course, they need to allow that,
Yeah.
or have, but we have made quite a few. I've started on the fourth piece now, and it's a huge pizza party. I added in some other people from just not only the community of Axolittles, but I've added in some Sappy Seals, some Pixelverse pets. We have some chubby corns and cozy penguins, and a lot of other projects as well. And it's super fun. We just hang out, we talk, and draw, and then there's it's a fun time to just hang out in the Discord, and anyone is invited.
Yeah,
and
we have a
it's
few.
just through Discord.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a few community events. We also have Chuby host game nights, and then recently started up a movie night. And so, yeah, just trying to find fun different ways to like have the community involved in a more low key basis, just like a good hangout.
Nice. Yeah. So then, you guys did the treasure hunt. Do you plan on doing more treasure hunts like that, specifically through the NFT worlds?
I think it. I mean, we'll look at kind of how everybody engages with this one. Definitely, I mean, not
Mhm.
opposed to it. I mean, talking on your point about like working in these different metaverses, that's definitely one of our huge goals. Is really finding partners where like we can go bring an experience to like their metaverse. I think that's like a really interesting thing to do. It and one of the big focuses really from the beginning for me has been non-competitive collaboration. So like I really have a lot of disdain for like projects where they focus on collaborations that are just kind of liquidity vampire attacks. It's like I just want to get a bunch of people from that project to come over and buy my project. So like that's a big focus on every collaboration we do, is making it like truly beneficial to like both sides. And so with that, we really want to like bring the Axolittles and bring experiences to those worlds, as that's like part of how you get that engagement. The other part of that being, with the Axe Aquarium, one of the big focuses will be like how we can provide, NFTs for both sides of the collaboration. So, say in the collaboration with the Chubbyverse, can we have like a little donut beanbag or something that's airdropped to all Chubby holders that they can go see in the Axe Aquarium, and then some similar airdrop to all the Axolitl holders, and just stuff like that. That's like kind of more I guess it's like different from the typical easy collaboration of just like a shared art piece that's just to like one side or the other. It's more like something you can engage with, something that rewards like most of the community, so it's not seen as something hugely competitive or anything like that.
Yeah. So then I guess let's talk a little about the aquarium itself, because um, worldwide, I think World Wide Web was supposed to. I'm not sure if it actually came out yet today or not, but they had their apartment builder. And then I know CloneX has done something like that as well. And then there's that like oncyber.io website. So Are you guys doing something similar to that? Like, explain a little about the aquarium and how people can use their NFTs in the aquarium, whether it's just Axolittles or just their entire portfolio.
Yeah, totally. So there's definitely a few different stages to it. So the first stage being just seeing your axolotls walking around. So you kind of connect with MetaMask and you just see them walking around. You can select from a few of them in your wallet. You can see them all and select which ones you want to kind of display there, and then you can go and check out other people's wallets as well. Stage two is more when we get into the collaboration and more like true Animal Crossing like experience that I was describing, where now you've got all these different NFT objects. You can start really decorating your room and making it your own. Stage three is where we'd really look into like multiplayer and outer world and everything like that. There's definitely a lot of different ideas on how that could work. One early piece that we've kind of discussed, but no official plans yet, is like we're part of the Sappy Seals Pixelverse. One of the things in there is kind of it's all of these, it's one metaverse with all of these kind of different worlds in it. One opportunity there is having Axe Aquariums have their outer world just be like a Pixelverse world basically. And so that's something that I think is super interesting and would love to like look more into. But we'll see exactly where that goes. It's kind of further down the road.
Yeah, we got some fans in the chat going right now. Got some Axo fan. Let's go. LFG. Axo Life is the new one that's thrown in here. So yeah, it seems like you guys have a decent community. How many people are in your Discord, and would you say most of them are pretty active now?
Do you have the numbers, Krip? I think we looked at them recently.
Yeah,
yes.
I don't know if you have them pulled up.
Looks like 11,000 people in the Discord, 34,000 people as Twitter followers. We did do a review of like kind of activity and stuff. We have a like Discord specialist, basically. John HQ, you may have seen some of his Twitter threads just in terms of general Discord security. He's like one of the very few experts at Discord security. And so huge shout out to him. Like, he makes sure our Discord's safe, but he also makes sure tons of other ones are safe, doing like audits for different teams and everything. But as part of that, yeah, he's helping us really analyze metrics like what is our retention like, how many people are actively using the Discord. And I think there's definitely been an uptick in activity overall since like the holidays. I think there was like maybe more activity way earlier, like close to post mint, that always that post mint hype and everything.
Yeah.
But we think like, as we keep releasing more of these pieces that are just about ready, that'll bring in a lot of old people. We did see it just the other day where we had like a floor spike and then all these people were coming in saying like, oh, what happened? I've like held this, but I've been kind of in other things.
Yeah.
And so a lot of things are laying dormant, I think.
Yeah. And the what we've been calling the great delisting on OpenSea that happened when they migrated the contract. You've seen a lot of these projects are resetting their floors basically, but the ones that, like you said, people that forgot they even had it listed, then they're not like rushing to list again. And the people that were like trying to bail on some of these projects, then all of a sudden those floors have gone up. So it's kind of interesting to watch that, just how it's sort of developed. So now that we have some more of your own community in this chat, I guess let's talk about what they can expect in the next coming months here, and if there's any little pieces of alpha maybe you want to share, or just general things that they might be interested in knowing.
Yeah. Maybe Tazar, do you want to take that one since you've been working on the roadmap? I've been talking for a bit.
Actually, there I would like you to just continue on.
Sounds good. I guess I have the leak authority. I can say whatever I want. No one can yell at me. Which I will say, I always feel like, as an aside, I always feel like the bottom of the totem pole in the team. I feel like everybody else is doing such an amazing job, and I'm like, gosh, I always feel like I need to work hard for this team. But yeah, I mean, in terms of roadmap, like there's a few different things that are all very close, and a lot of things that are like behind the scenes that you don't really get to uh, see. But looking at kind of the previous roadmap, obviously X Aquarium stage one, it's just about done, maybe. I mean, yeah, it's just about done. Okay, so that is some alpha, and then we've also been working on merch, and there's a few different merch collaborations which will be further out, but like this focus will be in-house merch, and so Ghoul has been doing a great job designing that and figuring all of that out. He's really been leading that. And then, of course, recently the staking contract V2 just came out from our great dev team and the redesigned website. So those are kind of our recent releases. But among the future-looking engineering efforts, we're also going to be switching to a multi-sig very shortly, so that all of the funds can be managed there. We can have this basically Axo treasury, and then yeah, where do I want to stop saying things? There's kind of a few other things I could talk about,
Yeah,
but I think I'll
I
leave
could.
it for the roadmap.
Yeah, if you want to pause on there, we had a question in the chat about the DeFi component. What is DeFi, but also like drop the alpha on how we get rich from DeFi. So how are you guys incorporating DeFi? Is it specifically through this staking, and is it you just created a more efficient staking contract than what was previously there, or is it completely revamped?
Yeah, I can go over kind of all those different questions. So from the first question I saw, what is DeFi? DeFi stands for decentralized finance and is essentially uh, taking traditional finance and either recreating it or improving it using cryptocurrency. As an aside, like I'm a person who just has a fascination for the entire space. So I do things in NFTs, but I also do lots of things in DeFi as well. Um, and so that's why it's important to kind of bring in all these spaces. One thing, looking at our upcoming vision doc, that's actually related to kind of one of our principles is it's going to be about learning and education. We noticed that like in the community, we got a lot of people who are new to NFTs or new to crypto. And that's part of what motivated this whole takeover. Actually, probably the biggest thing for me personally was just, I hate when people like get their first project and then it rugs and it just like sets such a bitter tone for the whole space for them. So we want to focus on like not only making it a good experience for them, but also providing them lots of educational resources, from NFTs to DeFi, largely focused at anything we bring to the table, whether that's, bridging to an L2 in the future. And But the other side, I mean, obviously this kind of providing value. Yeah, so we do have the staking token. That token is bubbles. One bubble is equal to one bubble. So we're not going to be directly responsible for any value that accrues to it. We'll just be providing different experiences related to it. And with the original contract, what happened was that you could stake all your axolitlls and then you'd earn bubbles. The big issue, which I alluded to earlier, was that claiming the bubbles would happen per axolitl as opposed to per address. And so say you have 200 axolitlls, it would cost anywhere between like 0.3 ETH to 0.9 ETH to claim just one time. And then, you're going to spend that every single time. And so the big change for contract V2 was, okay, let's make this claim per address. And so it's like significantly cheaper now. But in addition to that, we were like, okay, if you've already staked in the first contract, you don't want to unstake and then restake in the second one. That's just, really painful. And so we also added an airdrop contract where essentially anytime we need to push out additional bubbles, we can do that. The main use case being we take a look at the original staking contract and say, okay, well, these people left their axolittles in it. It's not accruing bubbles directly, but we can airdrop them through this airdrop contract that then users can just claim from. So we tried to make it balanced for everybody, but mainly focus on like gas efficiency. So part of that was selfish because I obviously had a lot staked, but a bigger part of that was just I'd talked to various people who were like, I'm not even going to stake because I know that that is a part of the original contract is like, per axolotl claiming, and it's just way too expensive.
Yeah. I've had that issue with some projects. The head game one had that issue where it was very expensive to unstake. But obviously it being on Ethereum, even if it's this per axo and it's 0.01, like that adds up over time as well, versus some of these other chains where you can pay for stuff in less than $1 per. So have you guys looked into potential of migrating to even something like a Polygon or one of these other side chains?
Yeah, definitely. That's a big thing we're looking into. So as I mentioned at the beginning, like I recently left Chainlink Labs. There I was actually PM for blockchain integrations. So looking at different blockchains is near and dear to my heart. And so there's a huge emphasis I have on like making sure it's the right choice of chain. There's chains that I won't name which, but some give me deep concerns for how they're designed. Some chains which the team doesn't seem to focus much on actually improving things as much as getting to like a good marketing standpoint of running a blockchain with faster, cheaper speeds. But then you talk to like node operators who are operating those blockchain nodes and they're like, gosh, I just can't even keep this node up, or it's becoming very resource intensive. And that stuff really bothers me, just kind of the existential threat of those chains. So all that being said, I mean, yeah, there's definitely some chains we're looking into. There's really one primary one that I think provides a pretty magical experience for users. And so maybe in Q2, we'll see Axolittles and Aquarium NFTs on that magical L2.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, and then so Crip, what excites you most about the future of Axolittles?
I would probably say just kind of integrating more and more with other projects and other communities and growing outward. I think the coolest thing will be just kind of getting to expand through the new year, kind of with a fresh team, and kind of get to see what like a full 4 quarters, I guess, will be like. And I think well, there's not many projects, who've, kind of seen that. So I think that'll be interesting for a lot. But overall, especially for us, as we're either all fresh or mostly all fresh with each other. So I think it's that'll be exciting. And then just getting new participants, overall in the market, but then also in Axolitl's. It'll open up, a lot of different, avenues with influxes, with Coinbase NFT and just overall whenever that happens, if ever, and just kind of seeing market participation rise and even, volume coming back in and some different things, of course, right now, given times in the world, stuff's kind of on pause, but yeah, I think given, nothing else crazy to change, I think it looks really good.
And I'm not sure if you could see the chat, but people are very excited in chat right now for Crip. We got the Crippy, Crip. We got Kryptonite. Everyone's rooting for you right now. And even got a singing
I
request
cannot sing.
from
I
Brennan.
cannot sing.
Well, yeah, the thing is with Crip is that he is the designated leaker
Yeah.
of the Discord. So,
Yeah, I
you
may
know, yeah,
I may give out information early and then not know if it's supposed to be given out too early. That may be why I'm
Yeah.
getting Hall of Fame.
Yeah, then I reprimand him
yeah.
for that.
No, it's cool. And then so you guys have, it was what, 8 total members on like the core team, and then like another 8 or so mods. Do you think you're going to expand further? Does it depend on number of holders? I think I saw earlier when I was looking, it's just under about 4,000 different holders. Do you feel pretty comfortable with the size right now and your ability to scale? Because I know that was one of the big pieces that you guys were hoping on this sort of next step roadmap.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's a few positions that we're still looking to fill, mainly because there's just, yeah, a few gaps where we're making it by, but we could do a better job by just having people officially assigned to that. So, sorry, maybe you want to go over the list in case anybody listening is
Yeah,
interested.
Mhm.
yeah. There we have. We're looking to expand some of the team, especially when it comes to Unity and C Sharp. We're looking for somebody with an experience with the 3D design, a modeler, and yeah, we have a few other positions which we are talking with the people currently. There is, I know I'm forgetting at least one of them, um, but yeah, that's at least what we're looking at currently.
Nice. Yeah, it's pretty cool when you can start adding people and you're starting to feel a little more comfortable with the current state, and you can like take those next steps basically.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah, I threw it in the chat, but if anyone listening right now has any specific questions, let us know. I can try to answer those before we get off stream. But um, I guess let's see, what else did I have to ask? I feel like we've talked about a lot so far. Is there anything big that I've missed that you guys were hoping to touch on?
I mean, yeah, we definitely covered a lot of ground. I'm trying to think. I'm still personally getting over kind of like that burnout from working full time and also doing all
Yeah.
these projects. So, um, I mean, I'm very excited to recover from that, which I'm starting to, but also like just dive full into this, and really hit on all these points. Like I mentioned, I think there's a lot of exciting things coming, and yeah, I'm just excited for the future.
Yeah, and Valenta's got a question here that I've asked this question and it's usually my go-to actually with these. If you could own one trait of Axo, which would it be?
Well, obviously the cosmics. I mean, that's what I got right now. No, I'm kidding. I like all of them. I think all of them have a great personality. There's maybe I give away a lot of axolotls to friends or I think I gave like I don't know. I must have given away like 30 or 40 to Chainlink members as I was leaving on Friday. But there's certainly traits which I steer a bit away from, but that's maybe because personally I don't like them, or I don't feel like as many people would like them. But some people, I think there's traits for everybody for that reason. It's like you're not going to be able to personally want to have each of them. But
Yeah, I'm gonna bring up the current OpenSea page while we chat about this because there's a couple on here that pop out to me. But this also shows, if you haven't seen what axolotls look like, the little animation that we were discussing earlier. And I didn't realize before, but some of the glasses have a little sparkle animation to them as well. I, for one, just looking at the screen, I didn't realize there was a funny glasses one. My cool cat has the funny glasses trait on his, so
I
I
love
don't
that
know.
one.
Maybe that Axo's got my name on it at some point. But yeah, I guess Crip, what would you say your favorite trait is?
I would say personally, it's the either the double or the triple horns, but the angel and the devil combinations are definitely super cool.
Yeah, and those are like the wings.
Yeah, I think there's not too many of them, and there's
You,
not
you like the
a.
rare stuff.
That's super rare. Yeah.
I like anything. I like the horns. I like anything with the horns, but the angel wings look cool. I think a triple
Only
horn
one on
angel
sale
wing.
for the low cost of 144 ETH right now.
Yeah,
So it
not
seems
for
like the
me.
market also likes these.
They are
Yeah.
super rare. Yeah.
Double
But,
one. What would you say, Tassar?
Well, I have actually in my heart there's a special place for the big smiley one. You see that one?
This one on the left here?
Yeah, the big
Yeah.
smile one. I just adore that trait. I don't. I think I have one EXO with that one. I also really like. Actually, I love all of them, but the robots, I think they're super funny. And then you have the masks, and I can't decide which mask I like more, the cat or the wolf. And they're just
Oh
all
man.
great. And then you have the DJs. Oh, this is getting tough.
I know there's just so many traits, and then I gotta get rid of those ones. But yeah, there's all these different traits, and it's always cool to hear like when people get interested in one versus the other. So here's that cat mask
Yeah.
that you're describing, and
Yeah.
it's simple. Like the colors are pretty simple. There's not the problem with some projects these days is they can get too busy, and like
Mm.
the art itself. But these, like a lot of them, are blend well together, and it's those, as our friend Logie from Lucky Trader likes to always say, like the warm, soft colors, those like pastels too. Which I don't know if you
Yeah.
guys have gotten into doodles at all, but they're widely
Mm.
known for that as well. It's just it's easier on the eyes. It's not like nothing
Mhm.
super aggressive, and they're just casually floating at you. So
Yeah, like they're underwater. And one thing I think is really cool with the whole collection is that no color is 100% the same. They are just a
Mm.
tiny hue off. So
yeah,
every one of them, that's also something unique about them. So I have actually two Axos with the winky smile face and the sundress, which is the one that I'm wearing, but they have two different hats. One has a frog hat, the other one has a bucket hat, and they're just slightly off
yeah,
with the colors. But it's
Yeah, that's
pretty
something
cool.
that's interesting when you start looking at the traits. Like, if you click on some of the outfits, you'll maybe click like, I can't remember what it's called, like red shirt or something, and you'll get both button ups and just regular t-shirts. And so there are even like variations within, yeah. So like that, for example.
oh, interesting. Yeah, and that's cool where they have technically it's the same trait, but it's technically different. I wonder
Mhm.
how that it probably messes up some rarity calculators as well, because it's probably not exactly even, is it?
Yeah, it's
But
kind of like a hidden rarity. I don't know if you did anything with like hash masks way back, but like
yeah,
reminds me a bit of that when it was like, oh, there's this little symbol in mine, and oh, I'm seeing I see this little dot on mine. Is the dot something special? And everybody was like hunting for traits. It's like that on a lesser scale, but
yeah.
still cool.
I feel like that. I think there was a recent project that did something like that as well, but I'm blanking on it. But I always thought the robots were cool, um,
Mhm.
and I'm guessing they're kind of the same way. Just looking at this, where those two frowny faces are different colors, um, might be like a similar trait kind of thing. Same
Right.
idea. The error one is kind of cool as well. But yeah, it's kind of neat how different all the traits are. I think I remember back when these were minting. I know a lot of people that minted these. They were they were pretty close. They were pretty into it initially. I think sort of what happened with the whole way that the project went before you guys took over. I think there were probably a lot of people that did end up dumping them at the end of the year, and then now might be kicking themselves because it's back to a functioning project, and looks like you guys have a lot that you have planned. There's obviously this community that appreciate the people that came out to listen today. Um, I think this was a good time. There's a lot that I didn't really know was going on more recently with you guys. I thought the takeover happened longer ago, but it's still pretty fresh. I thought that the takeover happened at the end of last year, and then you guys got together and created that on the 5th. But it's cool to see. Like, definitely love when these types of projects join the stream, because you always get the people in chat who are like heavy into the community, very exciting. Everyone in there, they're talking, Crips in chat constantly, and everyone's just very excited. I saw someone was saying that they just got Wi-Fi on their flight so that they could watch the end of the stream. So definitely excited and happy that you guys came on tonight. Are you guys all based in the US or based outside of the US? Has that sort of been?
Yeah, our whole team is distributed across places. I'm in Mountain Time in the U.S.
And I'm on Eastern Time, US.
Nice.
I'm on the Central European time in Norway.
Oh, nice. Oh, so it's
Yeah.
late for you right now.
Well, it might soon be early.
Yeah. Yeah, well, appreciate that you came out at this on the late night version of this. But yeah, it's always cool when we get projects that the community is all over the world, and even the project leads. I had one a couple days ago, and their project was a lot of them are based in India, and then we've gotten some. I don't know if you guys have seen very similar vibes, the artwork too, to the Sprite Club. I don't know if you guys have heard of them, but
I think
they're
so.
one that we did. I don't think they've had their mint yet, but we had them on, and they had very similar vibes, and a lot of them were based out of Europe. But it's always cool to see like where people are from and how they can come together through like these online communities.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, I feel super fortunate to have the community that we do have, and I think it's important to have like a diverse group of people for multiple reasons. I mean, one is a very functional reason. You get coverage of the Discord and everything 24/7. You always can feel safe sleeping and everything, and knowing someone's taking care of it. But also just like obviously the different perspectives that everybody brings in are great. And so always want to like support people of whatever background, whatever experience level in crypto. And yeah, it feels like we just have a really supportive, helpful community in general. So it's always nice when like other people are jumping in and helping people who are having issues with something, when it's like not someone even from the team. It just means
Yeah.
you're kind of getting the right vibe.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thanks for hopping on tonight. Definitely
Yeah.
appreciate this with you guys, and we'll be making sure to check in and see all that you guys are doing. Seems like there's a lot coming up, and we got people in chat here. If you're not already in the Discord, join the Discord. We can add that. I think I already added the link tree, so that should have all the important stuff if you want to get involved. And yeah, to buy an Axolotl is still relatively affordable right now. At the time of this, maybe we'll look back in a few months and it won't be as affordable for people. You never know. So, yeah, thanks for hopping on.
Yeah,
And
thanks so much for having us. This was a great time. Definitely
yeah,
really enjoyed the format. Think you did a really solid job interviewing. And yeah, send me over your ETH address, and maybe a winking Axolotl could end up in your wallet.
yeah. Do you guys have anything else that you wanted to plug before we left? Whether it's your personal Twitters or anything like that?
I mean, Axolitl's NFT would be the place to
Yeah, I
go
think
on
everything
Twitter.
in the link tree
Yeah.
would be good. Yeah, if you got the
Okay.
link tree,
Yeah.
you got them all.
Yeah, I've started adding the link tree in because that just makes it easy. I really appreciate when projects have that. Not every project
Yeah,
does, but I
Nice
mean
job,
that
Chris.
having
just
all
makes
the
it so
links in one
easy.
place is so
Oh,
handy. Yeah.
yeah, that's been one. Linktree is I guess you call it a website, not really a company, but that's one that I really appreciate. Has come out in the past few months. I've been noticing it more, and
Hmm.
that's a good thing to catch on because you don't want to have to add like 8 links and then where do you put them? Twitter only really has space for one, and the Yats never really caught on either. So um,
Hmm.
Yeah, it's funny seeing like
It's good.
what these new products are that are kind of more necessary in Web3 and maybe applicable to other places. Like what I'm really hoping for is like just a really good piece of software for balancing multiple calendars. Like I
uh,
think we're going into this world where people are working like multiple jobs at once, multiple projects at once. They could end up with multiple emails, multiple calendars. And I've been shocked by like how hard it is to find something that just like syncs it in a way that feels right. Like some will sync maybe uh between two or something, but it's just like it feels like there's a lot of missing features in that space, and there's plenty of others I'm sure that I'm forgetting, but
um,
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Calendly. I think it's called Calendly. That's one that I've seen um, pop up. I'm not sure, but I agree. Would be interested in that product as well because I have now my like Lucky Trader email separate from like my Gmail, and then it
Yeah.
just the problem is it's like you have events in one versus the other,
Mhm.
and I've had that issue as well where it's like, oh, I do have a meeting, it didn't pop on my phone because my phone's connected to Gmail and
Right.
whatnot. So um
Yeah. And
yeah,
then you have to add in everybody else's emails as well, and
Hmm.
yeah, all the
try to
contact
get that
ones.
going.
That's why I like using Discord. Everything's in there and you can have all the different channels and servers and that whole thing. And um I'm
Yeah.
not sure what kind of bots you guys have in your server, but the bots are always fun for engagement as well.
Yeah, we've got
Hmm.
a few in there. Nothing, I think, too crazy. Because our Discord guy John does like to restrict it a good amount, but
Yeah,
he's open to finding things when there's suggestions. So, um, yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Well, thanks again for hopping on. We'll be sure to upload this onto our audio streams as well. We for like Apple and Spotify, and we'll have it posted on there for people if they prefer the audio version. So again, this was fun. I'll be back on I think Wednesday is my next stream or Thursday. Um, Wednesday, I am supposed to have it for this Mythical Creatures project, I believe it's called. Another interview similar to this. If you're interested in potentially looking to other projects, you could check that out. You can like, subscribe below. If you subscribe, you'll see our updates when we are going to go live. We like to do pretty much every day, Monday through Friday, some sort of team and let people part of the community learn a little more about their own community or people on the outside who are interested in new projects. So definitely check us out if you're interested in seeing videos more like this about other projects. So thanks for watching. We'll catch you guys next time.